Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your Uncle Oski here. Let's go for another walk. So, what I wanted to talk about today was something that honestly really fucking set me off, and I just really wanted to talk about it. So earlier today, I was just chilling out, watching some YouTube, and I was watching a video from a creator that I actually really like, and it was pertaining to you know, really bad work situations. And it covered, like, the recent warehouse fire, all that stuff, and just kind of the way people react when they're unhappy at work. And something that really, really pissed me off, like the thing that actually set me off, was uh, this default back to, hey, if you're just unhappy, find another job. And, normally that would be, the smart and obvious thing to say. But if if anyone out there has been looking for a job slash trying to change jobs recently, um, you know that that's a really dumb statement and a really frustrating statement for a variety of reasons. Firstly, this economy that we're all in right now isn't really one to kind of make risky choices, in the sense of, like, we have, obviously, besides the entire situation that we're in now, like, even separating that, right, with the ongoing conflict and gas shortage, all that stuff, we have been in such a rough place, job wise, in the sense of costs keep going up further and further. This was even before, the conflict and all that stuff. Prices have been going up for so long that wages can't keep up with it. Like, my last raise was for 3.5%, and I'm pretty sure we just got the numbers that the inflation rate has gone up to 3.8. So the buying power of my raise is gone. Uh, if that's true and that sticks. So there's that, and it's not easy to find another job right now. Like, I've been seeing a lot of stories about, like, young college professionals coming out and having to put in like 1,000 resumes before even getting an interview, just to get their foot in the door, to have a real person actually talk to them about employment. That is such a horrid place to be. And even worse, like, if you're trying to leave your job, firstly you have to update your resume after, working hard all week. A lot of people do a lot of overtime now, if they're allowed to. If you're salaried, you're probably not getting paid for it either. You're doing it just to keep up with your work. You might be overworked. So you're tired, you're updating your resume, and then you're throwing it out there on Indeed or Glassdoor because, God forbid, I mean, you walk around and try to find a job. I mean, it feels like you can't even do it without these websites anymore. And half of them are just scams at this point, the ghost jobs to just, have you apply so they can take your information. So you're tired, uh, you're having to use these shit websites to find a job. And I think something that a lot of people, maybe not from America, might not know, but if you're American, you know all too well, is that health insurance is so expensive in this country, and a lot of people get their health insurance from their place of employment. So that being the case, uh, it's super scary to change your jobs, because a lot of jobs will have you go through a probationary period where you won't have insurance for 3 months. And if anything, especially if you have kids, or, like, if you're elderly, that is such a scary prospect. So even with how hard it is to find a job, if you end up finding a job, you might be out of health insurance for a good amount of time. And even worse, if after that probationary period they don't want to keep you or something happens during those first 3 months and you're out again, that'll further delay you getting your health insurance. And health insurance is so, how any type of healthcare in this country is stupid expensive. So without health insurance, you're risking having to spend a lot of money for any sort of problem that comes up. And I mean, when it comes to your health, nothing's ever really like done via choice. Like, you're not going to choose to have to go to the doctor, to a healthcare facility if you can help it. That's just not how life works. Like, things happen. And, even worse, I wouldn't say even worse, but because costs are going up so much faster than we're getting paid, like, it's hard to save up. So if you don't have health insurance, you're going to eat up a lot of your savings. And if it's like, let's say you have to get like a big surgery and you're out of work for a while, like, you're fucked. There's no money coming in. You might have to go into unemployment, and that money is going to barely keep you afloat. So, you're basically being dragged underwater. And I know this is funny coming from someone like me, but like, for a full-time YouTuber to kind of just look at the issues that people are having, obviously, this is extreme lengths we're talking here, but I can understand it. I've been in that point at working at a company where I'm just like, I just want to burn this place down. I don't do it, obviously, but there are a lot of really frustrated and different type of people out there. People get pushed to the edge. So for someone who doesn't have to work full time in an office space anymore, granted, like, YouTube's not easy, especially for like the high level of effort certain creators go to, but for them to, just kind of tell normal working class people, like, just find another job. Like, I know they mean it. I know they probably don't mean it in like a super shitty way, but it comes across that way because anyone who's been out there in the market knows it's fucked right now. It's not easy. It's super stressful. And there's a lot of blowback you can get to it, that you can get from it by even trying to search for another job, let alone switching over and having to restart everything, PTO reset, probationary period, not having health insurance. It feels super like out of touch. And I mean, don't even get me started on like older people. Like, it's super hard to explain to my parents how hard it is, how hard the job market is right now. And their only real feedback to me, as much as I love them, it's so frustrating to hear their only feedback be like, well, it's always been like that. It's been worse before. It was worse in our time. And I'm like, no one wants to hear that. Like, we really don't. It's not what people need to hear. It's not helping, and we just need people to be more aware of how hard the situation is out there and to just kind of be more sympathetic to people about it. I'm not saying you have to sympathize with the guy burning warehouses down, but, show a little understanding to the working class people out here that are struggling, man. That's all I got to say. I had no script for this, but I just needed to get it off my chest, man. Until our next hike, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate you guys.